For this topic, we are comparing fractions. When comparing fractions, we have fractions that have like denominators, which means denominators are the same. For example, we could have 7/10 and 5/10. And then we have fractions with unlike denominators, like 2/5 and 2/6. The way we compare both types of fractions is different. So if we are looking at the like denominators, we need to go ahead and say, okay, the denominator is the same, so I'm going to look up at my numerators. 7 is more than 5, which then tells me that 7/10 is greater than 5/10. So now that we've compared fractions with like denominators, we are going to compare fractions with unlike denominators, meaning the denominators are different. And now this one's a little bit tricky, especially if you are new to fractions. What I like to think about is how many people would I be sharing a candy bar with? And so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my denominators. Here I have 5 and I have 6. And then I say to myself, okay, if I'm going to go ahead and split my candy bar, would I get more if I split it with 5 people? Or would I get more if I split it with 6 people? Now, I don't know about you, I like candy, so I'm going to go ahead and say I would only want to split it with 5 people because I will get more. So then I would go ahead and say 2/5 is greater than 2/6. So let's go ahead and try a couple more examples. Listed we have fractions with like denominators, or denominators that are the same. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look. Okay, I'm going to move my eyes up to my numerators, and I'm going to say to myself, which is larger, 1 or 2? Well, in this case, 2 is larger, so I can go ahead and write my inequality as 1/3 is less than 2/3. And if you can't quite remember about your inequality, just think of it like an alligator. And that alligator wants to eat the larger number. Now let's look at our next example. We have 3/8 and 1/8. So looking here, I'm going to go up and look at my numerators. I have 3 and I have 1. 3 is larger than 1, so my alligator is going to go ahead and eat the 3/8. So I have 3/8 is greater than 1/8. So now let's look at examples with unlike denominators. So here in my first example, I have 7/10 and 7/8. Well, since the denominator is different, that's all I really need to look at. So I say to myself, how many kids would I rather split my candy bar with? So I'm looking here, okay, I have 10 and I have 8. Well, I know I'm going to get more candy if I only split it with 8 people. So we're going to go ahead and write our inequality. 7/10 is less than 7/8. And of course, if you'd like to draw your alligator teeth, that's always useful. Now let's look at the next one. 8/10 and 8/12. Since the denominators are different, that's all we need to look at. So I'm going to say, would I rather split my candy bar with 10 people? Or would I rather split my candy bar with 12 people? Well, I'm going to get more candy if I only split it with 10 people. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my inequality. 8/10 is greater than 8/12. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my alligator teeth because he's hungry.